Special Moves Podcast. Welcome back to the Special Moves Podcast, I should say. My name's Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Klukowski and Liam McKelvey. How's it going, boys?
Yes. All right. It's going good, thanks. Yeah. Just thinking about what to say to people at home. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Chinese New Year. Yeah, we didn't quite get through to Valentine's Day.
No.
But it's been a bit of a while. Been a bit of a mad. I think all three of us have quite different jobs, but the one thing in common is they all twat you around Christmas, don't they? Yeah. Because everyone's doing three things at Christmas.
Yeah.
They're doing Christmas shopping, they're watching telly, and they're playing games. And they're the three things that we do for a living. So we got absolutely swatted.
This is your fault.
Yeah, it's the people. Yeah. So, we're back.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a bit looser today, I suppose, just as we're catching up, going through everything that we've been playing. Because that's what's annoying, because we haven't really, we talk a lot on like WhatsApp and stuff and whatever. We know, we know what's going on and that, but then basically, we've just sort of wasted about half an hour of conversation just talking about what we've been playing and stuff like that. Just because we haven't actually sat down on a call like this and had a chat in a while. So we'll have to try and
yeah.
I'll tell you what though, I've been listening a lot to this Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's so good. And they're so loose with it as well. They're just like, all right, we're talking about this episode. But then they're just, every single one is like, it's like the most random.
Just gets derailed.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it begins off the rails, and then it's like about half an hour in.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the episode?
Who did in to the
Yeah, it's good. I strongly recommend that to anyone who doesn't know about it. But
cool.
Yeah, fill the Special Moves void when we
in
here, innit? So what have you been playing, Liam?
Bit of Pokemon, of course, and bit of Guardians of the Galaxy game. I did also buy the Uncharted thing on PS5, but I've not played that yet because it's like a £10 upgrade if you've got the original.
I think I have the original, but I don't know how to get the upgrade. I've definitely got 4. I've definitely got Uncharted 4. I'm pretty sure I've got the.
So the way it worked for me was I've still got my disc for 4, so I put that in. And it just popped up being like, do you want to install this one? Or for only £10, you can get this one and download it instead. So I was like, all right. But I haven't actually played that yet. It's next on the docket, though, for me.
Yeah.
It's complicated, isn't it, to do this sort of shit? Speaking to somebody on Twitter yesterday, and they were saying, Binding of Isaac, like the last, version of it, it's called Repentance. It's like £60 on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
which is well expensive, considering that loads of people own one iteration of it. But there is and it doesn't really make it very clear, but there is an upgrade path. So if you own there's 3 stages of it. There's it sounds very poetic, but it's Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is the one that most people have on the PlayStation because that's the one it came into. But then there's Afterbirth, which is the big fat expansion. When you own Afterbirth, you then get the option to buy the Repentance DLC. So you can't skip straight to the third one. You have to get the second one. And until you do that, it's not apparent. So you're looking at buying a separate game rather than just, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Just even me explaining it's confusing. And that's the kind of point. I saw this and was like, cool, is that cheaper if I have one of them but don't have the other one? Or do I have to have them both? Or what? Where do I do it? Where do I find out? So that's why I didn't play it. So I'm glad you did. I just got put off.
I mean, it is. Everything's like that, really, isn't it? At the moment, because it's I was thinking of getting the Destiny, the new Destiny 2 expansion when it comes out.
Yeah.
It is crazy, the ways that they come up with for you to give them money. It's really interesting the things they think of. There's a 30th anniversary bundle thing, which is basically a few missions and a load of items, and that's £21.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you want the Witch King, which is the new actual expansion, if you want that, I don't know how much that is, about 35 quid. That's there. But then you can then get this 90 quid version of it, which has the 30th anniversary edition stuff and like whatever, a season pass or something, and the thing, but it's £90. But it's like,
yeah, I know.
What, it's really, for someone like me who's like a big fan, but like a casual fan of Destiny. I'm just now like playing through some of the, I've just finished the Beyond Light, the latest like expansion.
Yeah.
Just really,
it does feel like punishment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so the inventive ways of just selling you, now that you're not just buying like a box with a game in it, really, there's just so many fucking different ways for them to like sell you a little chunk of game, Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, Liam, how's Pokemon?
It's good. It's a solid step in the right direction for Pokemon after many years of what is basically the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
really
nice.
Different, isn't it? It's like a different.
It is. Yeah, completely changed it. So it's meant to be like, I don't know if it's like its own spin-off series or the next main line game at this point. I'm not quite sure. I don't think anyone's sure, but it's good. So it changes it to be pretty much an open world. Not really an open world. It gets compared to Monster Hunter a lot, this new one. In how it's structured. Because you have a central hub village, and then you can go to different zones, and each zone's got like different Pokemon inhabiting it, different items you can find, different crafting materials and all that. But yeah, like the basic like premise of the game is you are a modern day Pokemon trainer who somehow gets thrown back in time, which is very anime as fuck. And then you get thrown back, and you're in like the ancient Pokemon past. You get told you join this team called Galaxy Expedition, and you go as like a survey team member. And pretty much from the get-go, it's just like, here's some Pokeballs. Here's how you sneak up on Pokemon and catch them. Go for it. And it's nice for a change. It's not really hand-holdy like a lot of Pokemon games are. It pretty much just throws you into it straight away. Gives you a pretty basic tutorial, and it's like, just go have fun. It teaches you how to craft items, how to catch Pokemon, how to explore the world, and how to battle. That's pretty much it. You do that in like the first hour, and it's just like, and go. And then you take on missions and requests, and it's good. It's all very different.
It's right, isn't it? I played like the first like 40 minutes, and it's set in a world where Pokemon and humans and that don't live together in harmony.
They're basically Pokemon all wild animals.
Yeah, exactly. So your team is like the first. Like Mindhunter was about like, maybe we should listen to these criminals. It's kind of like that, but with Pokemon in a way. Do you know what I mean? Probably not a good example.
I mean, the Pokemon can kill you as well, or they attempt to kill you.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, they straight up will attack you.
Yeah, it is. It was quite shocking, to be fair. Because I was like, my daughter's been playing it. Loads, and I looked, and like she's getting slapped up by this giant bear, whatever, and I'm just like, fuck it now. Good luck, kid. Yeah. Get her on Elden Ring next, man.
There is. There's dodge rolling in this Pokemon game.
Yeah, that's what I want about. Yeah, but so it's cool, and everyone was worried when it came, like didn't come out when it was shown off, that it wouldn't stand up because there's no way it could be that big, and it looks a bit graphically it looks
the graphics are pretty bad, to be fair.
That's what I was going to ask you, Liam, because that is the main thing I've seen about it, that it just doesn't look very good.
It's not a good looking game. Like you can't deny it. It's a bad looking game. Like, it's very low res when you go out in the open world. The pop in is like super bad. Pokemon just literally appear when you get within like 10 feet of them. Just pop in out of nowhere, and they do that thing, where they're like running at half speed to save on processing power when you see them at a distance. It's in some need of love in the technical department.
Because you look at it and you're like, all right, well, it's a Nintendo Switch game, but Breath of the Wild is in its own way a great looking game, isn't it? So it's.
I guess it was made.
Possible.
Yeah. And I guess maybe the story helps with that as well. Whereas like Pokemon, like you're imagining in your head like some bountiful world full of, fauna, flora, and that. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I remember when I was younger, I had a laptop and everyone was talking about World of Warcraft, but I couldn't like afford £8 a month to play it or whatever. So this guy in my school was like, I've got a private server, so you can download the client and play it. So I did, and I didn't understand the buzz because I realized that it was a private server with like 6 people in, but it was the entire WoW map. So I used to play World of Warcraft single player with 0 mobs because it was like scaled on the population of the server, and it's kind of the same energy a bit. Like I feel like I'm in this complete. It's almost you know what I mean. Like it feels like almost a bit spooky at how vacant the world seems sometimes, and then suddenly there's a Chansey in front of you or whatever. So I don't know if the Chanseys are in the game.
I think so. I think I've got one.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, pretty sure I've got one. But yeah, like other than that, it's like it's a good game. Some minor annoyances I have with it, like there's bits of the battles that they've changed which I don't like. A lot of stuff they've increased the difficulty of this one quite a bit. It's a lot harder than older Pokemon games, to the point where like if you're equally leveled with a wild Pokemon and they get a super effective attack on you, it's a good chance they can just like one-shot you straight away.
Wow.
But there's some minor quibbles I have with it, like you can't swap Pokemon in between battles, and by that I mean you can't swap them. So say like if you take out the other trainer's Pokemon, it doesn't. You normally lets you swap out, doesn't it? And you can swap between each Pokemon that faints. You can't do that anymore. It just leaves out. You have to swap it mid-battle, and that well, for me anyway, it had a lot of Pokemon where I've got like really weirdly leveled Pokemon because they don't get XP, where they've just been like one-shotted by whichever Pokemon came next, which is a little bit annoying, but it's fine. Like it's just like a little annoyance that I have with it. I don't think anyone else is really bothered by that.
It's the Pokemon community, Liam, so probably.
I mean, probably. It's the missions can get a bit samey after a while. It's I think there's like 5 or 6 different biomes in the game, and each one pretty much follows the same formula where you get told, oh, there's a Pokemon, you've got to go calm them down because they're like a noble ancient Pokemon, and then you have to just basically climb a mountain or go to the arena where they are. You throw some fruit at them to calm them down, and they're like the boss battles, and that's pretty much it. And that's it until the end of the game, pretty much. So it does get a tiny bit repetitive, but it's still fun. Like the core gameplay loop of sneaking around, catching Pokemon, just exploring all the areas, finding items, crafting new items. The fun is still there, and it's a solid foundation. I really do think a sequel could like absolutely like nail it, to be fair.
You know what you were saying, you're not sure if it's like a mainline or a sequel or whatever, but it sounds a little bit like the Total War like spin-off series where they try like new features, but it's not like a main Total War game. And then so maybe they'll do that where they're like, all right, the system kind of works like mechanically, we figured it out and we've got a game out of it and we've sold this many things. Now let's like make a big like mainline.
Yeah. I can see them doing that.
Without trying to sound too much like a pundit, like it's the sort of thing that is exactly rife for like when the Switch 2 comes out eventually or whatever, next generation. There's a sequel to this game that could have been great, but because I think everyone who's played it, including kind of what you're saying there, Liam, right? Like, just tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the limitation holds it back, right? So having that like advancement in tech could make the sequel like really pop. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
cool.
It's like if Game Freak get help from another game studio on like the technical side of it, I think they could have something truly special on their hands. But it's just being held back a little bit by like a really old game engine that they've been using since like the 3DS and stuff like that. And it'll get there. It needs a bit more love on the technical side, I think. But the actual like core of the game is really good, and I hope they improve on it in whatever comes next.
All right, Jake, what have you been playing on?
I played Dying Light 2, but I'm not very impressed by it, and I haven't so I just kept turning it off. I've been quite miserable with it, so I'll talk about something positive instead, because I'd rather let the comment section explain to me why Dying Light 2 is great, and I will read it and go, I'll give it a go, and then I'll try again. One thing I will say about it though is I've got it on PC. Normally I play these games on console or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy it. I was just given it. Yeah, so I had to make do with Steam. Beggars can't be choosers. I know what I thought.
Horrible. That's so tough for me.
I know. Yeah, and
Okay, though.
well, no, that's just why I don't want to talk about it. To be honest, you know what I mean. I was a bit, and also, same with you, Mike. And I've been playing a lot of this Total War, but I can't talk about it yet. So it spoiled me a bit. So I don't want anything like big that's not Total War at the moment, unless it's Elden Ring. Yeah. So I went the opposite direction and just stuck to what I know in it. Just try to reclaim some joy in my life. I went down the indie route. I went down the skateboarding route, and we got a review copy for Olli Olli World.
Looks good. It looks
fantastic.
Really to know about this.
So yeah, I chose this on the PS5. I didn't realize how fast paced it was going to be. Like it looked good if you had like a good refresh rate monitor or something on PC or something, probably. But this game, I don't really know like much about like the Olli Olli verse, but there's Olli Olli, Olli Olli 2, and then it was like Olli Wood or something like that, I think. Yeah. And now this is like Olli Olli World, and it's basically a skateboarding game with a cool graphical style, very vibrant, pastel-y colors, kind of like, what every 1 in 3 game at E3 last year was like low poly, bright colored, and there was a frog in it. That type of art style, think of that in your head. And it's a skateboarding game where you go from left to right until the level ends. It's a little bit like, that, was it a Ubisoft game, Trials? When you're on like a motorbike and there was all these... Yeah, and there's all these crazy like ramps and stunts, and you had to get from A to B, and if you failed, you started again. But it was like instant restart. So you were just straight back in it. There wasn't any loading screens or whatever. So it's kind of got that gameplay loop. You're going from left to right up these crazy ramps, and it's like definitely like a 2D gameplay loop left to right, but with like the 3D graphics. There's certain times where you go into the background, those types of games, like Donkey Kong Country does it, the newer one, where you go into the background for a bit and then you'll pop out, or there's 2 ramps, like a fork in the road, and you might end up, it's cool. It's like a parallax style pop-up book looking 2D thing. Really, really cool, because obviously it's still super simple. And yeah, it's like, it's kind of maybe, it's not as niche as it sounds, but if you're into all the skateboard stuff and you've played them all, it's got a nice mix of all of the classics.
It sort of looks like Sonic the Hedgehog as well, a little bit.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that actually. Yeah, there's like loop the loops, and the same way that, like, in fact, very similar to how Sonic Mania was doing like an old school thing in a new way, and using like the new capabilities of like modern day stuff to make old stuff run better and have cool little moments and stuff. There's a story to it, but it's obviously like ridiculous, but it's doing it on purpose. It's like there's 5 skating deities, and there's like they have like a conduit in the real world called the Skate Wizard. And as the Skate Wizard, you are the the connection between the earthly realm and Nirvana, which is like the skater heaven. And every generation there is a chosen one, a Skate Wizard, and the current Skate Wizard's kind of looking to retire. So is trying to sort of try and find the new chosen one, and that could just be you. Who knows? So you've got like a ragtag team of friends. You've got this like big guy called Mike who owns like a hardware shop. You've got this older skater dude that you just call Dad because he's old, which I don't really recommend. And I think her name's Suze.
It's like calling like older women auntie, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does specifically mention that he's just an old man that they call Dad. He's not even an old man. He's like 40s. And then there's like a videographer or whatever. She's like, we'll record your best bits. And it's cool because it's kind of got the 2 things about skating games that I think are really stand out. Like my favorite thing about Skate was that it had the thumbstick trick thing. Remember when EA did that thing where they went on a mad one for about 5 years and they implemented that into every game? Mm-hmm. Skate was the one where exactly, Fight Night one. So you had all these like the flick trick stick thing that is in this. So to jump, you hold the left stick down and you flick it up, and the right stick does the grabs. So it's got that, which is the best part about Skate. Well, one of them. And then Tony Hawk, I think the best thing about that was the kind of like, and Tony Hawk, obviously the game from the PlayStation 1 era, which is now like out on all new consoles. Like they had a recent like remake, didn't they? It was a remake, wasn't it? 1 and 2.
Yeah, was it a remake? Yeah.
It was like the Crash remakes and the Spyro ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, super faithful, right? So like, so they did them recently, so that would be fresh in people's mind. But one of the things about those games where they were very like arcadey, you have like a 2-minute run, the level starts, the level stops, and then you've got different things you need to try and do in those 2 minutes. You know, grind on 5 rails, or do a front flip through like a glass hanger or whatever. And then, beat the high score. So in Olli Olli World, every level's like that. You get unlimited time, and then you've got all these different challenges, like heel flip over some inflatable bananas. The first world is like a beach area. So yeah, one of them's like that, like, avoid the, flying lobsters or whatever. And there's like all these like cool, weird, wacky things, but it's just like properly like what you want from a game. It's just a good idea, well executed, to be completely honest. Yeah. Everything about it's in there for a reason. Nothing about it seems stupid. It's not actually bloated. There's, you can just go through the levels bare minimum if you want. If you want to do a completionist style run and finish every level, you can. Like the game's super customizable for your character. So like if you do a challenge, you unlock, you might unlock like crab hands or something. You might unlock like a different set of wheels or trucks or a board for your skateboard, and you've got all these customizable objects, and then you unlock these like vanity items through doing the challenges. So it's not I'm not really into that sort of thing, but it's like clearly the reason, the little instant gratification for doing it. And I guess, if you're doing it the completionist way, it's difficult. It's got like a really I guess you'd call it like I don't know, but you could play the game not so good, and you could just go all the way through it and you'd have a fun time. But if you want to do some of the challenges, they get really tough. Even in the first world, I was finding myself proper like trials, like reset, go. But great, like for what it is, it's you look at that game and you think, oh, that looks like it's going to be like a arcadey, fun indie skateboard game that will just be really good to play, and it's not going to leave me like shaken. It's not Spec Ops the Line or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And it's that it because it does everything it wants to do so well. I've got to say, it's bloody great. It's like, actually, because we haven't recorded a podcast in a while, it might, since we last spoke, dear viewers, it might be the best game I've played in that time, because I haven't played. What have I played since then? Battlefield, like Apex Legends, and that. Yeah. I mean, Apex is fucking smashing it. But hey, but Olli Olli is probably like the most fun I've had playing a new game in ages. And but that being said, you're probably listening to this thinking, yeah, but you're the fucking dickhead who just said that Dying Light 2 was shit and you don't want to talk about it. Well, so that's the big caveat, all right? But
I was sort of fancy Dying Light, and I was saying, like I was saying to you before we started recording, I was sort of fancy getting Dying Light, but I still haven't got it on the strength of your word, really, and also like some of the, what the reviews are saying about it.
Well, I said it before the reviews to you, which I'm glad, because I'm glad that I got to do that, and then I was validated rather than everyone else saying it was the best game ever. So, and by the way, like the thing about it is, if anyone listening, if you want to know what my gripe with it is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Dying Light 2, no.
Dying Light 2, yeah, sorry. So Dying Light 2, I had a good bit of time with it in that, but it was just like, I just was not buying what it was selling. First mission, craft some chamomile and honey for some guy in the woods. No, fuck off. And then it was like the crafting menu, and I'm glad I had it on PC for that though, because, the worst thing about playing on console is when you're playing menu-heavy games.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to pause and then you have to scroll through, whereas on a PC, obviously, it's just like C for crafting, I for inventory or whatever.
Yeah, and it's built for the mouse cursor. They've obviously developed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mouse,
so one of the, it's just proper like Metro Exodus vibe, where great premise and stuff, but it probably gets really good when it starts going. But like Dying Light 1 was an amazing example of a game that like grew as you grew. Like your character got more fluid as you got more familiar with the game. So you proper felt like you were becoming a master. Do you know what I mean? Like, you started off and you, as a player, couldn't really get up to too much because you didn't really know what was going on. You didn't know the buttons. You didn't know the map. And your character was a bit sluggish. But then by the end of it, you know the map inside out. The enemies are growing, but so is your like knowledge of the game and your character's abilities and the fluidity of the parkour. So that was amazing. So it finished strong. It managed to avoid this classic thing that open world games do, where by the end you've seen it all, you've done it all. It's just another bandit camp. But with Dying Light 2, it just bogged me down with like the most boring story premise ever. Like, we get it, haha, a pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, and crafting, I was like, it's just a Koch Media special, isn't it? It's a Metro Exodus. It's one of them like classic, like So look,
I'm not in tune enough with the games industry at the moment to know what a Koch Media special.
It's just like a Eurojank, Metro Exodus, that type of thing, like a PC Master Race. Yeah. Shouts out Koch Media for the code.
That's like a brand in a Rockstar game, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's the
Koch Media. Yeah. Yeah. Special, yeah. So yeah, look, I'm going to give it a go again with an open mind, and you guys know how I flit and 180 on these things so fast. So look forward to next week where I tell you that Dying Light 2 is my game of the year, yeah?
I was going to say, come back in 12 months when it's the fucking game of the year. Because I think because I had a really similar thing with Far Cry 6 where I sparked it up and I was like, this is pretty this is all right. I quite like this. The guns are great, but I think what is interesting is that now you kind of get excess like straight away. Like they give you like in Far Cry, you get every fucking gun you'd ever need, and they look like they've got pink camouflage and all that right from the beginning. And you're like, where can you possibly take me from this? Like,
I mean,
and then
you also get literally a rocket like strapped to your back, which
you get
can activate. Yeah,
you get an airstrike that is a rucksack, right? and it's like fucking hell. And I get it, but I think there is a. The not getting stuff is really important, and the holding stuff back from you and giving you stuff to work towards is they've obviously thought they're obviously really clever people who've thought carefully about game design and stuff here, but they've obviously decided that it's better to give you a load of good shit right at the beginning and give you loads of abilities. And in Dying Light 2's case, from what I gather, having played a bit of Dying Light 1, you're like a special forces guy or something, but you're not really a parkour guy in that, and you haven't really got the skills. So that's why you got this like nice curve through the game of learning stuff. Whereas this character in the new game is already pretty fucking, which makes sense because of the setting, the time has moved on and all that.
Yeah.
But you're already a pretty good parkour running person, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're already, this is it. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a great success and a great, sigh of relief for the devs, because it's been in development hell for 5-6 years. Right. Like half the people walked away from the project and that, and expectations were just rising the whole time, because at first it was like, what was it? And then they tried some bloody shit marketing stuff on Twitter that got absolutely crushed down, because they were saying, they were trying to give the gamers what they want and saying it will take you 500 hours to do Dying Light, and people were like, what? And then they tried to walk it back, but in the most dumb way, by saying the story's only 30 hours. So everyone was like, right, 30 hours of story and 470 hours of filler. Jeez, and then it's constantly like that. It was it felt like, you know what I mean? No, they haven't moved on. Felt like the fucking Pretty Good Gaming days, basically, when it was 100 million hours, the best thing forward, that sort of discourse. Yeah. I mean, but in 2022, so whatever. I hope someone listening is enjoying it. And I think it is going to be value for money. If you're buying this game and then you're holding off for a while, rather than absolutely murdering your wallet in February, most people are going to be, then I do want to hear a different perspective from somebody, basically.
Well,
so please.
I've seen it for 42 quid already in Tesco, on a Tesco club card offer.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Extravaganza.
42 quid, which already is for a physical copy, and if you're like me and you're not that bothered about selling stuff on after you've had a spin of it, that's not bad, is it? That's probably the best thing you could do, I think. Get it fucking Tesco. have a spin, sell it on when it's
Yeah. It's like I said to you just before we started recording, though, it's like, there is going to be another game like coming out in just a week or two that's going to be like this, where there's a story, but then a huge open world that you might get tired of. So it might keep your powder dry for Horizon Zero Dawn 2, maybe, unless you're mad on it.
I'm going to do it. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, and I'm gonna do just that. And actually, I haven't finished the DLC for the first Horizons.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. I've started it. It's pretty good. But
I watched Liam play it about 4 years ago. A bit.
I remember. Yeah. I liked the DLC. There was robot bears in it. Sold. Yeah, that's all I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something about the setting in Horizon that I really like. But I think the reason I like it is that it's not just a straightforward. It's not a zombie apocalypse. It's not World War II, and it's not Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
it's not. You know what I mean?
It's like techno-apocalypse.
It's
very good.
Like some sort of like what do you call it? Like slot machine, sort of like dinosaurs and robots and do you know what I mean? It's like just a bit of like a sort of stuff like
procedurally generated.
I quite like that. So I haven't played anything new for a while, but I finished the Demon Souls over Christmas, which felt pretty good.
The remake,
nice.
Right?
Yeah, the remake, which I enjoyed. So I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring now. But I've been playing Destiny. Finished Beyond Light. I'm fucking well into Destiny again. I love it. I absolutely love it.
What did you think of the Bungie news? Anything at all? Don't care.
No, I mean,
what difference does it make?
Yeah. I think I did have a little read of it, and I think that they just because have you seen this thing where they've so Sony have bought Bungie, the makers of Destiny and originally Halo. And but very much like Microsoft have been saying, every time they've bought anyone, they're saying, they don't want to make it like a platform exclusive. They've just bought them in, and they want their expertise in making like live service games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
that's what I mean to dismiss and say it doesn't matter. That's what I meant. Like, it's not like there's not going to be another one on Xbox in the future, right? You'd assume. So
yeah, to be honest, I'd be surprised if there's another one at all for a few years. Do you know what I mean? Because Destiny 2 is, from what I've played, it's in a pretty good place. And I'm still after. When was the first Destiny out?
2014, I think.
Yeah,
years.
It was like a year after PS4 came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So I've been playing it. Yeah, because I think wasn't that also on the fucking gen before as well?
Yeah, it was on last year. It was on PS3 360. Yeah.
So it's been around a while, but all this time I'm still finding I always say this when I talk about it, but the guns feel amazing in it.
Yeah,
I'm still finding stuff that is like, fuck, that's so good. I don't know how they do it. They just give you a load of feedback, I suppose, in it, and just make them.
It's
really
5 years since Destiny 2 this year. It's a 5 year. Yeah. So yeah, Destiny 1 was 2014. So yeah, they've kept it. They have kept it in good nick over 5 years. To be fair, then yeah.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I've been playing through the expansions and stuff, and the one where what's his face's character, Nathan Fillion's character, dies in it. He dies in the trailer. So
that's the Forsaken one, isn't it? I think
that was the last one I played.
Yeah,
that's where they introduced the bow, and it's the one where it's a bit like a western, and you got to hunt down the different battles.
And so there's hand cannons in it, and they're just amazing. Like these, so there's got it's like a proper RPG sort of weapons, so you get like uncommon, rare, legendary, exotic weapons and stuff. So the exotics, they're still sort of relevant now. If you want them, you can buy. There's different ways of buying them and stuff. So I've been looking, because I only sort of dabbled in Forsaken when it came out, so I've been going back to that and playing Beyond Light and stuff. But yeah, it's good. I've been enjoying that. But the other thing I've been playing is the Evil Within, which is really really good. It's really exactly what I wanted. As a big fan of Dead Space and also Resident Evil, obviously, but more of a fan of Dead Space. It does that same sort of thing. Probably maybe Dead Space has got this crisp, rigid precision to it, because Isaac walks around, the main character walks around really heavy, and every footstep is dum dum, and exactly where you are, and the gun is dead. It's got a laser sight. Every single weapon's got a laser sight, and it's really precise. Evil Within is a bit more stodgy and
fleshy.
yeah, it is. Yeah, more fleshy, and you sort of not. It's sort of almost got like this like B tier, like Sherlock Holmes sort of feel to it a little bit, like them Sherlock Holmes games.
Yeah,
but it's still really good. I really like the it doesn't like mess around with like the extreme sort of horror stuff, and the stealth sections are it's scary. Like it's not.
There's a good tension, isn't there?
Yeah, you really feel like, oh man, I'm gonna get busted here, and you think like you've snuck around, and then there's like a tripwire bomb or something that gets you. Anyway, it's fucking brutal. Like it is pretty tough. And as far as those games go, it can be pretty tough. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm actually like, how is the Evil Within 2? Is that any good, or is that
better?
Is it? Yeah.
Well, it depends who you ask. Okay. Some people like 2 better. Some people like the first one. I probably like 2 just a bit more, just because it's a bit more refined. But yeah, 2 is also very good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because I just bought both of them. Just like, right, I'm going to do these 2.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to getting onto the second one.
Yeah. Did you didn't buy them for a specific reason, no?
No.
Because so for anyone who's not aware of the connection, like they announced this week, Bethesda and that there's that game Ghostwire Tokyo that's been in the works for ages, and that's out next month on PS5 and I think PC.
Yeah.
And that's a cyberpunky Japanese. It's set in Tokyo, isn't it? Yeah, and it's like an action horror game. Anyway, it's the same developers, and then it came out like a day or 2 ago. It originally started as the Evil Within 3. So yeah, another Mike Williams coincidence. This one is quite unusual because Evil Within is not like a Destiny, is it? It's a weird franchise. So
it is.
Yeah, cool.
It's strange, and I like the way that it ramps up from the beginning of being like the characters like rock up at a hospital, and it's all a bit like. That's the one thing about it. It does sort of jump around to like different settings and stuff, but I don't. I'm not like scratching my goatee saying that this I can't follow this at all. You just don't care. You give it like this pass. I do anyway. You just think, yeah, this is fine. I don't, and because you like the character passes out, and the first time you go to like the save room, which you would know from playing Resident Evil and stuff. The first time that happens, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like you just kind of wake up from a dream, and then you like go through a mirror, and then you're back. The
entire game is basically a fever dream, to be honest.
Yeah, and very much that. Yeah, I've already got there's about 2 points in it already where I've thought, is he already dead? And this is all just you know what I mean? And he gets like injected in the face and stuff like this, and you're like, so is that him gone then? And he's just is he out cold in a coma or something? But it's just that kind of like dreamy weirdness to it, which is cool.
I remember starting this about 3 times, and I've just never been able to stick with it. And I always get past that like little prologue-y bit, like you're saying, and
it's good. It's good, and even I'm playing it on PS5, but so it's like 30 FPS and fucking 1080p and stuff. But even I'm still enjoying it, which sort of says a lot because I'm getting increasingly more like I really want to play The Witcher 3, really, really want to play it. But I'm not because I want to play it in 60 FPS. And it's the same for Bloodborne. Yeah, after playing Demon's Soul, I had a huge urge to play Bloodborne, but I'm just surely there's going to be some Bloodborne freshness in the near future. So even if it's just like a patch or whatever. So,
did you know that Evil Within was launched 3 weeks after Destiny 1, and Evil Within 2 was launched 3 weeks after Destiny 2? There you go. I'm like the little Microsoft papanclip there. Then.
Yeah, that's handy, man. Yeah, that's I'll just click.
Crucial featurette there for the.
It's all connected.
That's probably why I didn't play it then originally, to be honest, because I was just playing Destiny. Because so it is good. It is enjoyable. And the other thing I've been playing, which is also about exactly as old, is Warhammer Space Marine.
Oh, really?
Steam. Yeah, and that's because I saw I watched the trailer of the sequel, right? And I was like, "Fuck, I love that." I like taking itself so seriously, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in the mood for that." So I've been playing. I'm probably about a quarter of the way through the first Warhammer Space Marine game, which is insanely good. I don't know why I didn't play it the first time. It's just like so satisfying, and I don't know. It's like a budget like Gears of War in it, but it's
Oh, I know what game you mean. I know what you. Yeah, I know.
That's what
I know
it's called. Yeah, Warhammer Space.
Yeah,
Marine.
Space Marine.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And it's
But it's
like
just it's all the same to me because there's loads of these like little Warhammer games. Yeah.
There's an insane amount of Warhammer games, and a lot of them are like weird, like strategy games and stuff. But this is like a third person action game, which is like there's good melee in it, like there's good like Batman Arkham like button bashing melee, and then also huge guns and stuff like that, and massive shoulder pads, and it's class. It's so good.
Over Christmas, I played Necromunda Hired Gun, which is another Warhammer 40k game, which is just like budget Doom. But even that's fun, like, because you got like giant bolters. It's amazing.
Yeah,
even though it's like very janky.
That's it. Yeah, there's something about the like super excessive and cheesy, but you just I don't know. There's something really satisfying about them. Like they're just that heavy and I don't know. It's good. So I've been playing that as well, which is a weird selection of games.
That's interesting. I wish I had played something cooler to report back on. But I'll tell you what, I have been spending a lot of time playing Apex Legends again. I got back into that, and I was surprised to find. And this is really old news for anyone who's been playing Apex, I guess, the whole time. But there's like different modes entirely now. There's like a 3 versus 3. No, sorry. Yeah, 2 teams of 3. Head to head, you versus another team. And it's the same. You pick your hero, but this time, rather than it being like you're scrambling on the floor, you have an allocated amount of points, like Valorant, like these types of games, where you buy your loadout. So maybe you've got 500 fucking Apex coins, and you can buy a Hemlock assault rifle, or instead you could buy a better bit of armor, but now you can only afford a pistol. And then every round you get more money to spend. So and it's the first to 3. This game mode that we're seeing a lot more lately.
Sounds a bit Counter-Strike-ish.
Exactly. It all comes from that type of thing, and it's come back in after like you got those like whatever they're called, Rogue Company and Valorant and that. But they're adding a new, I think it's 9v9 mode this month when they add the new Legend and another new map. But there's like 3 maps now, and it's weird. Like the ranked has 1 map and stuff, but it's cool. There's loads of new heroes and stuff. I've got all the brand new ones that I've missed out on. There's like ones that like fly around now. They've got a complete jetpack that you can just toggle on and off, which seems like really overpowered. But that's the thing about Apex. It's really good. They've managed to get the balance right for a lot of these things and stuff. So I can still play Pathfinder and not get absolutely twatted by the cool new shape-shifting person with a giant sword or whatever, and there's a couple of characters there's a character that's like the most Mike thing ever. It's like Bangalore. Remember the character that throws a smoke grenade?
He's got the word banger in his name as well. Do you
know? No. Bangalore was the old character that you used to play. This guy is some Australian swat, but he has this like airstrike. You just literally aim and point it, and it's like the Bangalore's smoke grenade, but instead of that, it's just barrage of like you can pin people down while other people see them. It's wicked. I've been having a lot of fun. The only problem with it, when I'm playing it on PlayStation, is that crossplay is enabled, and when you disable it, it's like the difference between joining the game instantly and waiting 6 minutes to join a match. So you end up playing with like people on PC. You know what I mean?
I think that is quite a common thing now as well, isn't it? Because Destiny's is the same. Like crossplay is just you got to have it on because otherwise you're just waiting ages. And it's like I can't remember, was Battlefield as well, I think?
Yeah, Battlefield, COD Vanguard had it as well.
It's just the thing, isn't it? And I guess because you can play them, they're like 60 FPS is more, is a common. So at least that advantage has sort of, I guess on PC they're playing it at like 120 frames a second and shit, aren't they? But at least 60 is like good, you can work with that, and it's not like you're playing on a 30 FPS game.
Unless you're playing the Switch version, which also has crossplay.
Maybe every kill I get, they're on Switch. That's probably the reality, isn't it? I'm telling myself they're on PC, but
every time you die, that's a PC player. That's
honestly, I'm really shocked at how little I've played Battlefield 2042.
I haven't
But
touched it.
that is completely connected
Right.
to how shockingly bad the game's being received by people. Like, it's really they haven't even got a scoreboard implemented in the game yet, and that was supposed to be like a day one patch, then a week one patch, and now it's been delayed till the end of March.
The
Scoreboard. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, the last time I played it genuinely was with you two. I honestly haven't. I pre-ordered it. I've got the digital copy.
Yeah, same.
But I'm sure it will be good eventually. So that's why I'm not that upset about it. Because
it'll be hammered into shape. The thing that I saw that made me feel a little bit salty, I don't mind too much, but it was apparently that they're going to try and make it free to play to like get more people in, which will be a kick in the face for everyone who spent like money on it. That's a bit shitty, and that's like not like some sort of like weird like forum rumor. That's like what shareholder call that they had like last week. They've had to wipe 100 million off their valuation this year because of how bad it went. Like it's not it's no small feat. I think the thing about it for me that it's just how many features were just completely not in there. Like they don't even have voice chat in the game. Like that was they did. Sorry, no, they did, and they removed it within 2 days, and it still hasn't come back.
Yeah.
So it's just like these little things, and you're just like, guys, what the hell? Like I don't know.
It's obviously not ready, but also the just the general sort of creative direction of it with the fucking character, the hero selection and stuff like that, and if you could see that it was a great, if it was like something like Battlefield 4, at least it was recognisably Battlefield. The only thing, and the thing that they've really gone to town with on this is how big and chaotic Battlefield is, which isn't the thing that I like about Battlefield. I don't like the fact, it doesn't. I don't think, I can't wait to play Battlefield because it's so crazy. I just like the big open maps and the team-based gameplay. The objectives.
Yeah, well, that's not a thing, really, is it?
No.
The team-based stuff is a complete write-off. Like that was it for me. It was just really like disappointing. I played it quite a bit just before Christmas, just to really see what it was. Because another thing is the ones that I prefer are like not modern day. So I was like, maybe it's just that. And I had those couple. I eventually found like my class. Like I really like the engineer.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even a class. Like you pick a hero now, and then you pick your gun loadout. I've got an engineer loadout on his abilities. I found like the sweet spot, but it's still just not doing anything, and it's such a shame. Like I can't believe they don't have like team based gameplay in that. And then seeing in the call that they had with investors, and they were like fans struggled to adapt to the hero mechanics, and I was like, struggle to enjoy.
It doesn't need to be there, though, does it? It's not the. It doesn't even fit the. Because you've got 64 players on each team, and it's just like a weird. So you have like 20 of them who are playing as the same character, and Apex gets away with it because within your little squad, you're the only one, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Imagine you're in the deployment screen and then you want to be Mr. Zipline guy, but someone in your squad is. You leave the squad to be Mr. Zipline guy. That's what the average players are doing. So there's no team play at all because they want to have the little zipline. And it's mad. I'm really interested to see how they come back from it because I just don't really see a way without changing some huge aspect of the game, that is based around that system, and people want it taken away. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. But the whole thing that they were planning was that there also wasn't many maps at launch, but they were like, don't worry, there's more maps coming, but it'll be free. And there's new characters, there's new heroes that you're going to get to play as. That's been delayed till summer. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like would be 9 months since launch till they start adding in any content. And it's 5 months since launch before they add scoreboard, like, you know what I mean? So
it's not the only one either, is it? Because apparently the COD that they're even thinking of making. This is something I read. They're making COD. They're thinking seriously about it not becoming not being an annual franchise anymore, and sort of giving it some because Vanguard was, however it went down. I'm sure it was fine, but the player count is really not what Call of Duty.
And we know that they weren't, leaving COD to play Battlefield. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing.
Playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
Where are they? Like, yeah.
That's the thing. So apparently, even Halo Infinite is apparently struggling to keep players after launch.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
It's mad, and it's just a shift in. But the thing is, you've had like 10, 11, 12 years of very similar of just shooters that are basically following the same thing. The COD Modern Warfare thing of you shoot to unlock better guns, to shoot more to unlock better guns, to there's like a progression tied into cosmetics and XP that it just either unlocks stuff for you. There's some kind of progression system in these games, and obviously after fucking 12 years, maybe people aren't that asked.
Maybe make some more like campaign-based shooters or something. Because the shooter genre is doing all right, like competitively, obviously, like Valorant and Overwatch and like all them lot. But that's a bit too much. You can't jump in on a Friday night and play a bit of casual Valorant. Good luck. No. Get absolutely levered. It's like playing League of Legends like once a week. Just, you know what I mean? You're asking for hurts. Like, so yeah, I'm interested to see what's happening with it. I don't think there's anything coming out in a while, like shooter wise, it seems that interesting. I really don't think there is. All of them are now the big, your Sony type games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your big third person, apart from, of course, our Lord and Savior Elden Ring, which is going to really smash it up like in a couple of weeks.
What's coming out this year?
Well, Horizon.
Yeah,
Elden Ring.
Got our new Final Fantasy Souls like. It's just been memed to death.
Chaos, Stranger of Paradise, didn't it?
Oh, that Rainbow Six game came and went, didn't it, as well?
Yeah.
That's so. I know on the early access front, you've got Ready or Not, which is making some waves in the PC community for like co-op SWAT type game.
Gran Turismo 7, that was a big PlayStation thing about that, wasn't there? Like just they had a little state of play live stream thing just about Gran Turismo 7. I mean, it looks nice, but
I'm looking at this list now, and I'm just like, Little Devil Inside. I'm looking forward to, and Starfield. I guess that's a big one, isn't it?
That's got a date. That's actually got a date.
November, the 11th. Yeah.
Wow.
That new Glenn Scove Dead Space thingy's out this year.
I'm looking
that'll be decent, I reckon. They said God of War. That's not going to happen, though, is it? No way on earth. No way on earth, man.
It's a very packed PlayStation year if they do that in a maybe a sort of bad way. Like maybe they just need to hold that.
That's it. The shit right here, man. Hogwarts Legacy, man. For me, that's it. I am going to play it. Like I am.
Me too. Fucking definitely. I mean, but that hasn't got a date, has it?
It was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be October. It's just gone, so it was delayed to 2022. But yeah, there's a couple of things that seem interesting that are on the way. Breath of the Wild 2, the big rumor, isn't it? Like that's the big one for because the Switch has got to be coming to the end of its life. 5 years in, we got to be hearing something about what's coming up. But
especially the Steam Deck. I know it doesn't really. I don't think that poses a threat to it. Outside of like nerds like us, like you know what I mean. But it's but it'll still push it to be like, okay, you need to be a bit more powerful now. So
absolutely. I think we're at that time of the cycles where like the new consoles had their launch titles and then they had their sort of coming in the near future zone, which is like this is the year that we get like those ones, like we get Horizon and that, and like next year I think is the year where loads of them. I reckon that God of War will be pushed to next year, Fable and all that. That's when we start seeing all the juicy stuff. But if Starfield really does come out this year, that'll be one of the bigger games of the year, won't it? A Bethesda Game Studio extravaganza, man. We're without a weird co-op, well, without being Fallout, Basically, no two ways about it. That'll be decent. I don't know what Nintendo have been pretty quiet about what their plans are. I think they got a Kirby game and that coming out, but
yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be surprised now, would you, to hear of a new like a Switch 2 or whatever?
Right.
Because like you said, it's 5 years and it isn't particularly. There isn't a huge amount of massive Nintendo games on the way, so.
No, exactly. But there's loads of potential. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just keeping an eye on. Because I don't know. There's not. There is a game I'm excited about, but it's Elden Ring and it's weeks away. If that was out in October, this is the sort of thing. But I feel like we've had quite a bit of a. I don't know. Like Horizon seems like a really big game for PlayStation. It's a big deal. You know what I mean? Elden Ring it's a big deal, and Dying Light. These are the types of games that are big enough to warrant like this sort of chatter. If they were out in 6 months, you'd go, "Oh yeah, there's that new Horizon. That'll be alright." You know.
Well, for me, there's a new Total War coming out this month, and that is the only game I'm ever going to need if it's anything like the last two in it. So I'm done. Like that's what I mean.
That's what I mean by top heavy. Like, you know what I mean? There's a couple of games and that, isn't there?
There's a new Total War Warhammer coming out. I've been playing the second Total War Warhammer I put about 400 hours into it, which for me is astronomical numbers. Nothing else I've played in the last 10 years has come anywhere near that. So
and I am PRing it, but this isn't a bit of PR. It's just an actual thing. Total War's one of them games where it's dead, but it's on Game Pass. It is on Game Pass on the first day. So if you've got Game Pass, it's worth a look because it's fucking good. I think I tell you what though, that's what I've got my Xbox out again, and I've just downloaded Death's Door because loads of people were saying that was Game of the Year, right?
Right, yeah.
Right, loads of people were saying that was Game of the Year. I played a good couple of games last year, but I didn't play that one. So I'm going to be playing that. I think for next week.
That's on the Switch as well. It looks like it could.
I bought it in the Steam Christmas sale, but just never got around to playing it. Because I heard everyone saying how good it was.
Yeah, it looks cool. I had a little spin of it yesterday just to see how it feels to play. And it's like dodge rolling and slashing. So I was in. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what I will have for us next podcast. I am going to London this week and I'm going to have a little spin of the Steam Deck. So nice. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it's actually decent or whatever. Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it will be really impressive and good. It's quite hard to get, isn't it? Like if you want to buy it, you have to wait ages.
I'm still in the Q1 2022 slot.
Yeah, that's the first wait. Always feels bad to say first wave, but you know what I mean. We're just used to it now, innit? But yeah, Liam, you're part of the first batch going out, right? I believe
it appears so, according to my reservation page.
That was supposed to be December, but it's been pushed to Feb. But devs and publishers got him like a month and a half ago or whatever. That's the context of how I've got one. Obviously, one of my clients has got one, so not like I don't know anyone with one. They're not out in the wild yet, as far as I know that much. But have you seen the reviews for them? Fucking hell. Like it's the whole it just works type stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, give me that. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the Steam Deck, man. Because that's the thing. I've always been a bit of a console scumbag. Like, even with a PC, I admittedly just like a controller. I do just prefer it. So this is like this is the chosen one, man. This is the chosen one. This is the gap between Nirvana and the beach in LA. This is the Skate Wizard, like Steam Deck is. So, all right. Yeah.
Well, on that note, should we leave it there? Thanks for listening and for watching the Special Moves podcast. We'll be back soon. Sorry it took a while for this one. Sorry this one was a bit more free-flowing, but I guess we had a lot to just chat about in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, guys. Thank you, everybody. And hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.
Nice one. Bye.
Bye.